Hello and welcome to Campus 2 Community, the Columbia Basin College news magazine to keep you informed of what's happening at CBC and how we might better serve you. On our show today, we'll be talking with the athletic director at Columbia Basin College, Scott Rogers, about a big event, annual event coming up later on this month. And that, of course, would be the Follow Your Dreams Banquet and Hall of Fame inductees. And we're also going to be speaking with the director of the new Veterans Services office at Columbia Basin College, Jason Schlegel. But first, we're going to talk with one of those students who's a veteran, and we're talking about Robert Wally Wallace, veteran of the United States Marine Corps. And Wally, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Frank. It's a pleasure to be here.
First of all, the Veterans Monument, where you worked as a student employee, you were able to see that construction go up. What was that like for you?
It was pretty phenomenal. I mean, as I was doing my work in the library, I would look out the window and see it being built from the ground up. I mean, I saw them removing all the dirt and then gently placing the rocks on there, then slowly but surely it was just coming up, and it was a pretty good sight to see that some of the things that happened that myself and Jason Schlegel put forth through that proposal actually came to light.
Yeah, that was very much a grassroots proposal by the veteran students. And of course, you spoke at the veterans ceremony. What was that like for you?
It was, again, another awesome feeling. I mean, as I was speaking, it's the same effect as when I saw the monument being erected. It actually kind of brought chill to my spine due to the fact that when we did the proposal, as I stated at that proposal, was that it's not a proposal, it was actually a plea, because this is something that the students needed to be erected here at CBC, that Veterans Monument.
Okay, let's go back a ways. Why did you get into the service initially?
That's a funny story, Frank, because I was born and raised in Queens, New York, and as my grandfather would take me to the racetrack a lot, we was taking public transportation, and as we would roll down the street on Jamaica Avenue, Queens, there was a billboard up there, and along that billboard was a picture of the United States Marine in dress blue uniform with the Marmaluke sword on his side with a lightning bolt coming down, hitting that sword. And when I saw that, that kind of caught my eye, and I said, that's what I'm going to do, that's what I want to be.
Fantastic. Then why did you leave the service and then come to CBC?
Well, unfortunately, it wasn't by my own choice. I was actually medically discharged. I was in a vehicle accident that rendered me incapable to be fit for duty. So at that same time, I was recuperating, and when I came to the Tri-Cities, I was working odds and ends jobs here, 2 jobs here, working different places, and I come to realize that I needed the paper to make the paper, and that paper would be to have a degree. And I utilized the GI Bill along with the VETS Success Program to be able to establish that degree.
So what's it like being a veteran at Columbia Basin College?
You know, being a veteran at Columbia Basin College is awesome. It's good to know that you have individuals supporting you. I have support from the teachers down to the resource center. They accommodate me with the needs that afforded to me to help me out with my disabilities that I have now. So it is great to realize that you have a community that will support you and help you with a college that is so great to be with.
So one final question, we just don't have much time left, but what will you do after CBC? Because you're getting your degree in March.
That is correct. I have my bachelor's degree in applied science and management as of March 2014, and as a result, it'll probably be geared towards hospitality or somewhere in the service industry with customer service, being able to help people as I've been helped in the past.
Fantastic. Hey, Wally, we're proud to have you as a student at Columbia Basin College.
Thank you, Frank. Appreciate that.
And when we come back, we'll be talking about the new Veterans Services office at CBC with Director Jason Schlegel right after this.
Looking for a career where you are needed, can travel, and earn an excellent wage? In the next 3 to 5 years, more than 40% of the nuclear energy workforce will be eligible to retire. Columbia Basin College's Nuclear Technology program provides training to become radiation protection technicians, plant operators, and instrument and control technicians. Here's your chance to become part of the nuclear workforce. Train today to power up your career.
And welcome back. And one of the new areas at CBC is the Office of Veteran Services. And we're glad to have the director with us right now, and that's Jason Schlegel. Jason, welcome.
Hi.
Let's go back where we were with Wally talking about the monument. Quite an accomplishment that was. What was that like working on that project?
You know, the project took a couple of years and really was led by our students on campus, and I'll just say I'm very grateful to ASCBC, our student government, student body, who funded most of the project, but we had students selling peanuts and faculty, staff, and other community members donating money, but it was a long process, and it was very inclusive, a very inclusive process. In fact, we had two separate committees reviewing monuments and the placement of the monuments and all of that, and it all included faculty, staff, and students throughout the process. So I feel good about the monument that ultimately was chosen. But it's one of those feel-good moments, you know, when we dedicated the monument, just to see the community come, see the students and the faculty and staff celebrating on Veterans Day. So I'm proud of where CBC is going.
Fantastic. And well, now tell us about the new office for Veteran Services.
Yeah, that's another one of those efforts on behalf of CBC to really focus on serving our vets. And you know, if you come to the Veteran Services Office, we call it the VETS Office, Veterans Education Transition Services Office, and it's focused on helping vets make that transition to higher ed. And of course, once they're there, we have study space for them in that office, academic advising, VA certifying official who can help certify them each quarter when they sign up for classes. We can consult with vets on how to use their benefits, though we're pretty firm. We don't want to make the choice for them, but we can help them weigh the options.
What are some of the challenges that vets may be facing that non-vets don't when they go to CBC?
Yeah, so you know, you oftentimes look at the vets who have gone to combat and they come back and they're transitioning, going through some clear transitional phases. And then there are the vets who come back, who've been used to being on active duty for, you know, X number of years, who have been used to a certain standard of life, who have had health care and housing and all of those accommodations for them, and then they reintegrate into civilian life, which in some cases leads to some financial hardship. So there's a transitional phase for vets, and sometimes, you know, we're plugging vets into community resources to help them with that transition. Those are among some of the challenges I think vets face.
So what advice would you have for veterans looking to come back to school, to college, or maybe even for the first time?
Sure. No, I would just say this. I think the biggest thing that I see is I bump into vets in the community and they have the GI Bill or the post 9/11 GI Bill, and frankly they don't think they want to use it. And you know, it's really a good piece of congressional legislation. It gives vets a housing allowance. It pays for their tuition. They get a book stipend. Essentially, they're being paid to be scholars. So, you know, if there's any advice, it's please use those benefits because of the potential economic gains of getting a degree or certificate. And if they want to do it, I know there are a number of institutions in the Tri-Cities community that can provide them the education that they need. And certainly we'll have a conversation with them about how to use those benefits if they want to use them.
Fantastic. We know you're doing great work, Jason. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
When we come back, we'll hear about the inductees for the CBC Wall of Fame, Athletic Wall of Fame, with Athletic Director Scott Rogers, right after this.
Where can you see stunning views of stars, galaxies, and other wonders of the universe? visit the Bechtel National Planetarium at Columbia Basin College. Take a guided tour of the night sky under a spectacular dome in the Community Enrichment Foundation Theater, where you can learn about phases of the moon, planets, constellations, and other fascinating objects in deep space. Science and educational films for a variety of age groups are also displayed on the planetarium dome. Look up into the night sky. Learn more about our universe.
And welcome back. We've got a big event coming up on January the 23rd. It's the Follow Your Dreams Athletic Banquet. Inductees and learn about the CBC athletic program. And with us to tell us all about it is the athletic director himself, Scott Rogers. Welcome.
Great. Thanks for having me, Frank.
Well, January 23rd is the day. What all is going to take place at the Follow Your Dreams Banquet? And this has been going on for several years, right?
This is our 8th annual banquet to support athletic scholarships and facility improvements at the college. And it's been a marquee event, kind of a cornerstone event for the department, and we're excited that we're in our 8th year, and we think we've got 2 quality inductees this year.
And they are?
Well, we actually had 3, but we couldn't get the 3rd one to attend, so we'll hold her off till next year. So the first inductee is Larry Hattemer, who was at CBC from 1967 to 1979. It's hard to find something that he didn't do. He coached basketball. He was an assistant coach for football. He coached baseball. He was a track coach. He was also the head tennis coach. And he did most of that while serving as the AD from 1972 to 1979. He was actually inducted into the Eastern Washington University Hall of Fame in October.
Beat us to the punch.
Beat us to the punch.
Yeah.
He was inducted as an assistant football coach and the assistant AD. So we're glad to have him on board.
Fantastic. And the other one is?
The other one is C.J. Mitchell, who is synonymous with our community as a sports official. He's got over 50 years of connection to CBC athletics, probably most notably as a baseball and football official. 35 years in the Pac-8 and the Pac-10 with baseball, 4 Division I World Series appearances as an official, 10 World Series appearances at the NAI level. Served on the Board of Trustees from 1971 to 76.
At CBC.
At CBC. He was the Alumnus of the Year for CBC in 1997. He was the first baseball umpire inducted into the Washington State High School Coaches Hall of Fame. Wow. There's just too many things to list for Mr. Mitchell, but we're glad to have him in as a contributor.
Now, with those inductees, that would be enough in itself, but what else?
Well, along with the inductees, we're going to connect some of our current athletes and recognize some standouts that were all academic leadership, all conference, et cetera. We've also got an auction that precedes dinner and the festivities, and since it's a sports crowd, we have a lot of sports memorabilia. We've got jerseys and footballs and baseballs, helmets, bats, et cetera. We've got everything from Seahawks to Redskins to we've got a nice selection of events.
And so the money that's raised, where does that go to?
It's going to go towards athletic scholarships, and if there's anything left over, we go towards facility improvements.
Wow, that's fantastic. So people, if you want tickets, you'll see a phone number on the screen, and they contact Nancy Adams at our foundation.
Nancy Adams at the foundation is 542-4721. So as of right now, we're about 29 tables sold. Typically have about 32, so we're almost full at this point.
Okay, well, good luck, and boy, it's going to be a great night, January 23rd.
Great, thanks for having me, Frank.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us, and that's Campus to Community. See you.